Armbrook Village's Compass Memory Support Neighborhood is working to enhance the lives of those living with memory loss. Joining us now is Beth Cardillo. She's the Executive Director of Armbrook Village, and Dr. Robert Stern from Boston University School of Medicine's Alzheimer's Disease Center. This is such an important topic to talk about, and what you are doing at Armbrook Village is making a big difference in people's lives. Let's start first with you, Dr. Stern. What is dementia and Alzheimer's?
Well, people often get confused. Alzheimer's disease is a progressive brain disease that slowly but surely destroys the brain tissue. And when it gets bad enough, people start having symptoms. And when those symptoms get bad enough to get in the way of daily life, that's what we call dementia. So the disease is Alzheimer's disease. And when it causes memory problems and other problems that are significant enough to get in the way of being able to live independently, do things the way you normally would, we then call that dementia. So dementia is not a disease. Dementia is not an illness. Dementia can be caused by a whole bunch of different diseases. The most common is Alzheimer's disease. Okay. So it's kind of like a fever. If you have a fever, it means that there's something wrong, but it doesn't tell you what it is. Right. Alzheimer's disease is the cause of most cases of dementia.
And that's a really important thing to
It's a big distinction.
Make sure people understand. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not like you have a little bit of dementia, and if it's bad, it gets to Alzheimer's disease. That's not it. Alzheimer's disease is there for up to maybe 15, 20 years as it's getting worse and worse. And then the symptoms start, and when they get bad enough, we call it dementia.
Understand. Now, what are some of the numbers? How many people are affected?
Yeah, you know what? It's pretty scary. There's around 5.5 million people just in our country alone with the dementia from Alzheimer's disease. 1 in 8 people over the age of 65 has the dementia from Alzheimer's. Almost 1 out of 2 people age 85 and older has the dementia from Alzheimer's disease. It's an epidemic. It's getting larger and larger, more common because us baby boomers are getting older. And even though it's not caused by getting old, it's more common as we get older.
And there's not necessarily a cure or a way to prevent it, but there is a way that you can manage your quality of life.
That's right. Right now there is no cure. We're working really hard on developing new drugs that will be able to hopefully slow down the disease before people start getting bad. But for now, people are getting it, they're getting worse, and it's so important to make their lives as wonderful and fulfilling as possible.
Now, there's a lot that's being done, a lot of research that shows what you can do to improve someone's quality of life, and you're implementing that at Armbrook Village through your programs. Let's talk about some of the things that you're doing and why it's so beneficial to the residents. Great. First, socialization. We all know how important it is to be social, but this can really help improve people's lives.
Yeah, so the research shows that having a good social network, continuing to be social, going out with friends, having people around you, actually seems to slow down maybe the progression of how bad it is. And once you have dementia, there's research that shows that being social, connected with people, improves how you're doing overall.
And what is being done at Armbrook Village, Beth?
So we do a host of things there, and I think it is very exciting. And we've got 21 people in our program right now, and we do activities all day long, enriched programming to help people interact with each other, exercise classes and yoga and a connections program where people really can connect with each other and not feel that their quality of life is being diminished. And sitting home alone doesn't do that. So being in a community that really fosters that does help.
And that's the social and physical interaction that can really be beneficial. But there's also the intellectual stimulation that kind of goes hand in hand, and that's what your Reconnections program is. Tell us about this.
Well, the person with Alzheimer's disease has no ability to learn anything new, but they have great memories from the past. And so the ability to take advantage of that, to interact in a way that deals with things that are still there, things from the past, people, experiences, you name it. That's what's really important.
And you're doing a lot at Armbrook.
It is a very exciting program, and I think one of the exciting things about it is that people feel kind of normal as a part of that program. Talking about World War II, gas rationing, buying silk stockings, what the music was, the Lennon sisters, the Andrews sisters, gets people to realize that's a part of their life, and they can have these fluid conversations and not feel like they have to come up with answers that they don't know. It's there. It makes the here and now for them.
And it's pride, too. They can feel proud, and they still have their dignity because they know that they can have a conversation and they're comfortable talking about that.
And it's fun. They love it. We do
great.
reconnections 3 times a week. It is awesome. It's a great program.
It must be so nice for you to see their reactions and to know that
Absolutely.
they're really benefiting from it. Let's talk about music. We know how beneficial it is to everyone, but especially those who are residents at Armbrook Village and just people who are aging as well.
Yeah, you know, there's been anecdotal discussion about people with Alzheimer's disease. If you use music, they seem to brighten up, things happen. Well, there's actually now research, mainly from our group at Boston University Alzheimer's Disease Center. My own son actually led this research, that showed that using music can actually improve the ability for someone with Alzheimer's dementia to learn things. Fascinating findings.
Unbelievable. And I'm sure at Armbrook Village you have a lot that people can do that involves music.
Music all the time. Music with dancing. We get very lively groups listening to Tony Bennett, Frank Sinatra, the whole Rat Pack, listening to older music, newer music, classical music. Everybody likes something different, and it's all we do. We have people dancing, their family members come in, everybody's dancing, having a good time. It's great.
That's so great. And to be there in that environment and to have that surrounding you is so great for people than to not just be sitting at home. Let's talk about diet. The Mediterranean diet specifically can be really helpful.
It's the one thing that over and over again seems to come out in research that is helpful for slowing down the progression of Alzheimer's disease, and also once you have it, maybe to do some benefit. So things like olive oil and olives and fish and omega-3 fatty acids and fruits and vegetables and legumes. Over and over again now research is showing it can be beneficial.
And that's the focus on the diet that you offer.
All of our food, brain healthy cooking. Every day, all 3 meals, uses spices, herbs, the olive oils, cinnamon, all sorts of great things that help preserve people's memory.
And you do have a spice rub that Seth is a big fan of.
I brought him
He
some
loves
today.
it.
It's a spice
Loves
of
it,
life.
so-
It's a salt substitute, absolutely.
And so it's tasty. It's
It
great.
is. It's delicious.
And let's talk about exercise. Obviously, we know how good it is for us, but especially those who are aging as well.
It's the most studied and significant finding over and over again. Even in animal models of Alzheimer's disease, you get these little mice on the little exercise treadmills, and they're the ones who show less of the devastation of the disease in the brain. And so in humans, great research showing that Alzheimer's disease seems to be able to protect the beginnings of the disease and slow it down.
So you're using your brain with those exercise programs. We have yoga every week. We have Tai Chi. We have a morning exercise program that's through the Arthritis Foundation that we do on a daily basis. So we're doing exercise classes all day long.
That's so wonderful that all the programs that you host and that you're offering to the residents are really doing all that they can to improve their quality
It's
of life.
all of the research that they've done that we put into practice.
So fantastic. And we're out of time, but we want to make sure everyone knows that you're located in Westfield. But also, if people want to get involved in the research and be a part of it and be a part of clinical trials, how can they do that, Dr.
Well,
Stern?
it is so critical. We need people to come up with good treatments to be able to do something about this devastating disease. We need people to participate in research. And we have a research program for anyone, and travel is covered. So they can come to Boston and we'll pay for their travel. And they can go online to www.bu.edu/alzresearch, ALZRESEACH.
And we'll put that link on our website too.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much, Dr. Stern and Beth. It's nice
Thank
to have
you.
you here. And for more information, you can call Armbrook Village at 413-568-0000 or visit them online at armbrookvillage.com. More Mass Appeal coming up right after this.